Okay, first things first, let me introduce myself. I'm Deputy Gomes with the Sheriff's Office. I currently am assigned to Graveyard. A lot of you probably have not seen me because I creep through your neighborhood at 3 a.m. when you guys are sleeping. This is Deputy Reich. He's swing shift on my team. How our teams work, if you guys haven't heard before, we're pretty much split in half. We have 3 deputies on one side of the sequence and 3 deputies on the other side of the sequence. Well, we're on the swing shift Graveyard one side, and then we have a whole other team on the other side. As far as communication goes, that's key with us. We have to basically juggle back and forth. You guys live in the town, and you guys are all members on Facebook and communicate great from what I've been told. From us, we have to communicate on our days off back and forth with the other deputies because something could happen. Like we've been off for the last 4 days for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and we have no idea what happened over this last weekend. So that's where communication comes into play. We put together this meeting. Just basically, this is going to be a brief meeting about observing and reporting what you guys need to look for out there. And we can answer as best that we can of what's been going on lately without going into too much details because we're still actively working a couple cases. Mountain House has been pretty good so far. We've had auto burglaries, which is normal, I should say. Most cities have auto burglaries. It's basically keeping them to a minimum and using the citizens that live here as our advantage. You guys have more power than we do, believe it or not, because you guys are undercover in your houses watching that person walk down your street doing this. As we're driving around and they see headlights and they immediately hide behind a bush. So as far as ways of reporting, what we got going on here, Melissa, I want to also thank Melissa. She put this together. This is going to be very involved with the community, and she cares, just like everybody else is here. You guys showed up. You guys all care. Basically, National Night Out is coming up also. I believe that's August 5th, next Tuesday. It falls on our day off, so I don't think we'll be there. We'll be attending probably our national nights.
2 weeks from yesterday.
What's that?
2 weeks from yesterday.
2 weeks from now. Okay, so 2 more weeks. I don't keep track of days. I work graveyard, so I had to find my sunglasses. I woke up today and it's daylight out. What am I doing out here? But as far as National Night Out goes, I participated in it last year in Northern County area. We put together teams and they go out to different communities and talk with everybody. Now I'm also talking with our crime prevention coordinator, Bill Hughes. A couple of you are familiar with him, works at the office. He's also organizing that all together, so I'm going to talk with him further. He also put together a bunch of packets and stuff that he gave to me, and also how to report, ways to report, phone numbers, everything you need back there. You guys all need to take one of those. Take them, make copies, give them to your neighbor, etc. They have all the phone numbers, they have ways to report, what you should report, ideas, examples, and so on. We don't know exactly, he hasn't, because I'm graveyard, it's hard to talk with him during day shift, but I'll talk with him more to find out exactly the times for you for National Night Out. But excuse me, you guys will be barbecuing and having a good time and then having some shows. You're putting on a couple things, which is great for the community. And so on. So we're just going to go over a couple things here tonight, real brief, and then follow it up within 2 weeks from now. So hopefully we can get as many people as we possibly can there for Mountain House. If you guys are the only people here, but look how big our town has been so far. It's growing every night and it's getting huge. So you guys are the key players in telling your neighbors and telling everybody that doesn't have Facebook or doesn't come to the meetings about what's going on in the community. Okay. Basically, ways of reporting is the top subject here. Basically, 911, if it's an emergency. You guys need to use your best judgment for in a case of emergency. You guys need to determine the emergency. Don't let somebody else tell you what an emergency is. An emergency to you might not be an emergency to me. But if you need help and you're in an emergency situation, you call 911. Don't worry about somebody telling you that's not an emergency. That's for you to decide. Okay, and our dispatchers, they put the calls all together and they classify that all together and how we need to get that accordingly, okay? Reporting the non-emergency is our 468-4400. Don't bother writing that down right now because we have forms back there you're going to take that has all those numbers on it. I'll leave business cards too. That's our main sheriff's number, which most of you should have. Also, I'm not exactly too familiar with online and text reporting because text messages they're kind of delayed to me, I think. I think it's a lot easier if you just call our non-emergency number. That's what I do. When I call the desk, I need to call the front office. I call the exact same number you guys do. It's the fastest and the quickest way. As far as the ways of reporting, calling the desk, a couple things have come up over the last couple months of Facebook. Everybody has Facebook, right? And everybody monitors it and posts suspicious activities and stuff like that. What we ask from me and Deputy Reich and the rest of the team, that you immediately call it into the Sheriff's Department and then post something on Facebook. Facebook's a great social media tool to get it out there, to let everybody else know that possibly lives on that street, that is checking Facebook around the clock like everybody else does, that something suspicious is in the area. While you're on Facebook posting that, we're already en route. As you know, most of our times vary. It just depends on response times, but roughly we're there very, very quickly. We can't go into exact details in minutes here, but you know we always have somebody assigned out here most of the time. If we're not there quickly, it's because we got something else going on in the town. That's more of a priority. We'll get there as soon as we can. We do, try to shorten the times, get there as fast as we can. I've been guilty as charged, sometimes speeding through the neighborhoods trying to get to a call to get to you guys, because if I would want to call 911 or a number for police assistance, I would want that deputy there as fast as possible. So also in the middle of the night, when you guys report this suspicious activity, it's popped up in my head. I've pulled up and stopped citizens in front of their house that are pulling in their driveway that might look suspicious, and they kind of get upset with me. Well, I kind of want to know at 3 a.m. why you're pulling in your driveway or why you did a lap around your block. You know, most of the time, as all of you know, they're trying to make a phone call. They'll go out at 3 a.m. to call someone because our cell phones don't work in Mountain House if you have AT&T or anything else. You guys know that. Verizon's okay, but I'm not putting my votes for cell phone service out here. But every time I try to call you, it doesn't work. But so everybody drives out to our main locations where they can reach cell phone service, but also looks suspicious. So then we have the other citizens calling that in, which is fine. Lately, we've also had the assistance. I want to thank also Filbert and Alan in the back of the room. They've been eyes and ears lately. I've stopped Alan a couple times and wanted to know what he's doing, and he's doing neighborhood patrols. So I want to thank them. Maybe give them a round of applause for the last couple of weeks. I've seen them in the area all over the place. I've been watching them, and they try to tell me, but I'm already watching them, and they don't realize that I'm watching them. Also, over the last couple weeks, we've had some burglaries occur. Auto burglaries has been a rise. Just depends who you talk to, if it's a rise or not. We had a group of individuals that came out of town that did break into a bunch of cars and load up their cars with property. Now, jumping back a little bit on definition of breaking into cars. Breaking into cars, there's a difference between a break-in and a theft. What we really need to work on as a community, and you need to tell all your neighbors about this stuff, is to remember to lock your cars. A lot of these auto burglaries have been unlocked vehicles, which during the elements of the penal code doesn't classify as an auto burglary anymore. Does that change the fact that we're going to try to hunt these guys down and catch them? No, not at all. It's still a crime. We're going to stop these people that are doing this. It does change the fact that these people out of town that come over to Mountain House, because it's a very nice, lovely community, that have laptops and purses and cameras and cell phones and very expensive stuff right on the front seat with the door unlocked. It creates a, describe it, opportunity, crime of opportunity. It's very easy. They don't have to risk breaking that window out and having your across the street neighbor hear something and then call it in. So what they've been doing lately is grabbing handles. We call it grab handles. They run through the streets and they grab handles to find which one's unlocked. They get unlocked, then they get in, they take your petty change, etc. Just whatever they could find in that car. We need to note on, just remember, take all your valuables out of your car. Laptops, I know everybody works, has to drive back from the commute very exhausted. Just got to remember to get all that stuff out of there, because that's what's very important, and that also leads them to coming back for more stuff. If they go back after they do a couple grab handles in here and get 5 laptops and go back home, they're going to go, yeah, we're going to come back to Mountain House because look what we got, instead of just change. So just tell your neighbors all that. Just remember, you know, lock your cars, keep your valuables out. I know we've said this time and time again, Melissa has, but we just need to keep reminding people and telling also all the people that are not here, because everybody's guilty of it. I'm guilty of it, and I'm also a victim of an auto burglary. I had can't remember, last fall sometime. I drove by my house and checked on my house on my way in on patrol, and go in, I change out, I come back, and my doors are open. They rip my stereo and everything right out of my truck at home. I missed them by an hour. So I know what it feels like. It's horrible. You have to go through the process, you know, not only replacing your items, but repairing your car if they do break into it. So let's just, we can work as a community just to remember to lock your cars, take your valuables out, and reporting. Reporting is the key thing. You're not going to bug us with reporting. It seems a couple people in Mountain House have the things, oh, we don't want to call the police, or kind of afraid, or should we, or shouldn't we? Let us determine that. Call it in. It doesn't hurt to call it in. We'll respond. We respond to everything. If you think you make a phone call in and we don't respond, that's not the situation. We've had a couple situations I've heard over the last couple weeks where we haven't responded to calls. That's false. Completely false. We respond 100% to every single call. If you call it in, we respond. Most of the time when we respond to the night to suspicious people call, we don't necessarily, we know the time delay, we know how everything works. When the moment you call it in, it gets typed in, transferred to dispatch, sent to us, aired, or etc., we're on our way there. When we get to that location, it's a mind game. We have to jump ahead of these people to see which way they're going and what they're doing next. The last thing we really do, unless you need immediate assistance there, we don't shoot straight to your house. As you know, Mountain House is one big funnel. We'll try to hit the areas where we think this person's going to come out of, or we'll try to circle the outer blocks waiting for this person to pop out. But also, if the time goes by over the phone and reporting this, 5 minutes could go by. 5 minutes, somebody can drive their car, you know, separate. They can make it from Questa to Wickland before you know it. So we kind of play a guessing game on how that works. I can speak firsthand from back on the 27th incident I talked about the subjects that came in from out of town and did those auto burglaries. We had a citizen call it in a suspicious vehicle and somebody running up and down the street. Well, in the middle of the night, they're probably collecting stuff, they're probably doing auto burglaries. So we shot into the area and couldn't find them. Well, the next step is, I know they're going to come out. This person that reported it was great. Gave a great description of the vehicle and what it looked like. That's very important. Everybody can say, we see a car driving down the street. Well, now it's kind of hard for us to drive for the car. So if you can, in reporting these situations, try to get, I know nobody's experts on exact cars of, you know, red Dodge RT extended cabs with a ground effects kit like Alan has in the back like I am. I mean, if you guys can get a red pickup, would be great. I mean, in this particular situation, they described a red two-door compact vehicle, possibly a Honda. Well, I sat up down in the park and we waited for it, and red kind of stands out a little bit, no offense, Alan. But this car come flying out of the area at a high rate of speed. Well, there's a red flag. So traffic stop was conducted on it, and which led to records checks, which led to their prior criminals, which led to tons of property in their vehicle, which led to a game of collecting everybody's property and calling them throughout the entire morning saying, Mr. or Mrs., hey, I got your stuff here. What are you talking about? Then they go out to their car and start screaming, my car got broken into. I know, I have all your stuff right here. So going through person by person, that's the hardest part, is trying to identify all the victims and everybody's backtracking. But that was, I believe they were responsible for a lot more that had occurred the last couple weeks before that. I think it was the 28th. I think it was the right end of July that weekend. I believe they were responsible for, just my personal opinion off the record, for a couple home burglaries due to their backgrounds. Also, we haven't had too many in details. To my knowledge, on the other team, home burglaries since that occurred, since we took care of that problem. So we can see patterns as far as once we get a group, noticing that the crime kind of drops off. You know, it doesn't occur every night like it has. So it also brings us assurance that it's working. You know, maybe we got these guys that are going to do it again tomorrow. They were booked on 7 felony charges. We laid the hammer on them. So it's still, I can't go any more in detail on that because I'm currently going to court, and that's a very big ordeal. I recovered very, very expensive and very, very, very important property that I cannot disclose out of the car from multiple people. But right after that, we've had a couple. We had one night where there was a rash of burglaries. We had.
Any update on that?
16.
I think was
around 16
roughly
cars.
16 cars.
And I bet you, from what I heard from the other guys that took it, because they was on our day off sequence,
fell in on our days off.
They were all open doors because, or 90% of them were open doors.
I got lots of prints off of my car, so I just wondered because we never hear anything back.
We couldn't tell you if we did.
We did get an email about some prints on a car. It's like I said, with the communication back again. It's the other team that's actively working with that one because it went under our days off. I think I remember your prints. I'm not sure if they got anything yet. Not yours, or I mean, well, your prints.
Well, I just had the car washed that day, so I mean there was nothing on it.
The best thing for prints, as far as that, is window surfaces and stuff. Anything with dirt and like a rough surface, it's really, really, really hard. We'll try though. We'll try no matter what. I mean, we'll get the TS out here. We'll take photos. We'll do whatever we possibly can.
Big problem with the Mount House. I don't know if you guys noticed, it gets windy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of construction work going on everywhere. If you just wash your car and you roll through one of these windstorms going through here, prints are going to be hard, okay? And it's not like CSI where we can just sit there and glue your whole car, you know. and this stuff. I wish it was. I wish I could get prints off everything because that'd make my job so much easier. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as you guys think. I wish it was. And to piggyback real quick while I'm talking, Deputy Gomes was absolutely right. Make sure everybody locks their cars. What I'm seeing lately during the day, windows are open. Okay, your windows are down. It's nice out. You know, you don't want to run your AC. Your AC's not working right. Who knows? I see probably like over the last week, half a dozen cars, their windows down. One guy had his GPS right in his center dash. I'm like, I could reach right in there and get that.
And we noticed this driving
But I had to
around.
knock on his door and tell him, hey man, do you know your car's windows are down? All 4 of them. A nice car, people, I mean, it's just inviting crimes of opportunity to come in through your community and things like this to happen, which we want to prevent. So if they see it's not an easy target, they won't come in here no more.
Also garage doors.
Yes, same
Huge.
thing. That's where your neighbors come into play. I might have been in your garage. I might be guilty of a burglary once or twice because the garage door's open. I run in there, I hit the button, I run out all night long. That's what I do. Because people leave their garage doors open all night long.
In the morning too, when you guys are leaving, Deputy Clark probably 2-3 times a week on our long week has, I'll be out here at this address seeing if somebody's home because their garage is
They
open.
go on vacation and
Or
accidentally forget
they're
it
just
open.
going to commute, you know.
But that's where a great neighbor comes into play. If somebody goes on, I'm guilty of it. We're all normal people. If we figure a garage door open, this is where a good neighbor will come into play, and that's why it's good to know your neighbors. You can know your neighbors. You can call that person and say, hey, you left your garage door open. Are you out of town, or did you take off? And everybody knows when they're loading suitcases up front, you know, that they're taking off out of town. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, can I ask, because that just happened to my neighbor a couple of years ago and the kid's bike got stolen. Without their permission, I know my neighbor very well, but could I go in there, or I just don't want to get in trouble, you know what I'm saying?
Try knocking on their door.
No, they're not home.
If they're not home?
They're not home.
Oh yeah. I mean,
So can you go in their garage door, close it and run out?
if you feel comfortable with your neighbor and you know your neighbor's not going to get upset, I don't personally have a problem with it. You might want to talk it over with them to have a game plan beforehand.
Yeah.
That's always a good idea, and then you can always call us because we don't have a
Yeah, I
problem
don't
with it.
think they would have had a
I'd
problem
rather be
at all. I
mad at
didn't even
somebody
think
for
of
closing
it.
my
Right.
door than to have some.
Right.
I'd rather be mad at somebody closing my doors than
Yeah.
all my shit
Yeah.
going, you know?
Absolutely.
Like Deputy Gomes said earlier,
Absolutely.
Sheriff Moore, no call too small. We come to everything. Okay.
I don't think I saw it. They just told me that they left it open all day long.
Yeah. Some people leave their stuff cracked
By
for their
mistake.
cats or
By
something. You never
mistake,
know
yeah.
what they're doing. Yeah.
So as far as, I know we're going way off topic. Oh, let's go back to it because I didn't finish with that one rash we had that one night. That was our night off. We try to educate ourselves as much as possible on that. We did get surveillance video. I believe that was posted to all the social media sites. Did you produce that?
Yeah,
We have.
that's my picture.
That's your
Okay.
pictures?
That's not even a good one.
No.
There's better detail than
The
that.
pictures,
Yeah.
well, if they're printed out in color and on like photo paper,
Oh, yeah,
they're
It's
way
black
better.
and white because it's nighttime.
Yeah,
It was a good picture.
If
I
you
gave it
guys,
8 by 10, it's glossy.
yeah, I left a couple back there. They're not the
I
best.
could pick that guy out again.
If you
I
do,
saw
yeah,
him.
if you do think that you have something, maybe get in contact with this gentleman back here, maybe get better pictures on this. We are currently watching a couple people that necessarily have bad backgrounds, but have backgrounds in this type of work. Criminals, believe it or not, are a creature of habit. Most of the people we catch, they're already on probation and parole for what we caught them for. It's a job for them. Unlike everybody that tried to make it here to the meeting tonight that probably have jobs, this is their job, is to go out to make money this way. Tracy, I can assure you, with Tracy PD, we had a lot of stolen vehicles and auto burglaries going down in Tracy that was really, 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 really huge. They might have been coming over to Mountain House and doing a couple, but they did a very, very large raid on a hotel room that had all kinds of property and all kinds of stolen cars in the parking lot, etc. The detectives, this was a couple weeks ago, detectives are trying to properly identify everybody's property. I think they have for the most part. So that also, I noticed in the crime has slowed down since then. Biggest thing in Mountain House is auto burglary is what we've been touching on, or theft if your car is unlocked. So, but it's pretty much general. I mean, we haven't had home invasions, any homicides to my knowledge, kidnappings, etc. It's great, yes, exactly. It is great that this community is so worried and concerned about the auto burglaries because we don't have to worry about the bigger crime that's occurring all the way around us. As you guys know, Tracy's one exit away and they're having way more than we could even just handle over here, you know, as far as crime-wise. I get BOLs wishes to be on the lookout for all kinds of shootings, etc., going on in Tracy, sent over to me to watch out for them. So our town's doing really good here. It's a good group, and everybody's on their toes about reporting stuff. The observation skills on here, going back to this, is basically going back on reporting suspicious activity. I can't stand up here and I can't tell you what to report. I can't tell you that that's suspicious and that's not, because in your eyes it's different from my eyes. So you just need to use your best judgment and report it when you think it's necessary, and do it right away if you can. You want to report something basically before it happens. Like for this instance, they were in the middle of doing auto burglaries, but our reporting party called it in, described the vehicle, and boom, we caught them while they were leaving the town. So we got them before it happened, and we got them with the property, which is great, because that's a whole other list of other charges. As far as the auto burglaries go, that one rash that we had, that one night, what was it, what did you say?
The 7.
So
Oh, the 16 of them, yeah.
we haven't had too many since then. We've had them here and there, 1 or 2 to my knowledge. I don't know exactly, don't hear about every single one, try to keep up and backtrack a bit what everybody else goes to on the other days. But we try to, you know, intermingle with each other. But it's been 1 here, 1 there. There hasn't been any large rash of burglaries, which is a good thing. So, sorry, go ahead.
Is there a way to get a report on when these happen?
A report as far as what in what general
Is there
area?
a way to a database to go search from the public side and just to look and see, okay, what happened yesterday in Mountain House? Just plug in our zip code or whatever and see. Because it'd be nice to see a map, especially that night where we saw, what, 16 car burglaries, or we've seen hit or miss here and around. Is there a pattern going on that we as captains can keep our eye on as well? Because are they going from here to here to here to here, or is it just a spattering?
Yeah,
It'd be
which
nice
is
to get
a
that
good
info.
thing, yeah, because then you know if they're focused on Altamont or if they're
Right.
focused on one community and
Or if it's one street, or if it's,
exactly. It hasn't, I can tell you, it hasn't been focused. None of them has ever been focused on one street because they won't focus on one street. Once they do a car on that street or something, they're in a way is a little smart. They're not going to come back because they know now you guys will be on high alert because your neighbor's car just got hit. Area, they do focus on area, but Mountain House as a community is kind of an area. Sometimes they focus in the area of Altamont, sometimes Wickland. I know last time me and Melissa talked, it was Wickland was kind of bad. Different group of people. Now it's was Altamont a little bit lately.
In one of our meetings, Bill brought in a map, a
They're-
color map that had all the
Yes.
pinpoints on it.
He has the crime stats. He
Yes.
has the ability to go and look them up. He has the time, as far as being in an office, to go talk to those crime stats personnel that we have.
But is
And
there
he
any
can-
way
he
we
can
can get that?
Isn't there a
It's-
website? I thought I got that.
There might be a website,
There
but
is a
there.
website,
I have
and
seen
Melissa probably can help you
Yeah.
out. And she's been
Yeah,
talking about
see
also
that.
putting something together like that.
Okay.
Basically, who'd you, just before I talked with you,
Mohawk Torres is putting together a secure website for us, and it's gonna link all that, and we're gonna go on the San Joaquin County Sheriff's website and look at the staff, and
that page.
that has the
mapping.
dates and the times and the
Correct.
areas, and he's gonna make it so all of our Facebook pages and everything is on one secure website, that we use our address, it can be kept confidential. So it's not being published on the web, but you
Yes.
can't go on that website unless you have a sheriff's address or a Mountain House address.
Yes, and that'll show, I'm sure Melissa will share that with all the rest of the communities, and I don't know exactly days, but just as recent as you can, hey, this is last couple weeks or last month, or, just to try to keep you guys updated.
Or
and
just
what's
so we
going on.
know what we're
Yeah.
looking out for.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
we're doing neighborhood watch, what are we looking out for? What's going on? So that we
Exactly.
know what to look for.
As far as vehicles goes and stuff like that, these guys are good too. They're switching vehicles. They're not staying in the same vehicle. If I had a certain vehicle to give you, I'd give it to you. As far as that one that occurred, that rash, that one night, it slowed way off from there. So either they weren't from the area or they stopped because they figured out the residents here are on high alert now. So
Last group wasn't from anywhere around here.
yeah, the last group was from out of town, and they won't be back.
Yeah, they were like Turlock and
Yeah.
all sorts of, not that.
I think she had a question in the back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, you had mentioned call 911, but if you're on a cell phone, doesn't it go to Sacramento first and then they call?
It goes to
first?
CHP.
This is true. This is true. Thank you for bringing that up. That's very important too. When it comes, the non-emergency number goes straight to our office. Cell phone numbers do go to CHP and then gets transferred over. So that is a couple minutes, give and take. 911 calls though, if you do dial 911, you hang up, we're still going to respond no matter what. As you know, maybe you guys have kids playing on the phone, we show up no matter what, because it's a 911 hang up from a call from this location. It'll ping your phone and it'll give us the location. Most of the time it's pretty accurate and it's within it, and we'll go banging on doors trying to find out where this came from.
I think what she's saying about 911,
So from a cell phone,
that's cell phone only.
should we call the sheriff's department or should we call 911?
That's totally up to you. 911, they transfer it as quick as possible. It goes, the first thing it asks is your location, then immediately goes to that location. Like CHP will ask you, if you guys have called 911 recently, they'll immediately ask your location. Mountain House, boom, it goes straight to the sheriff's department. It's all kind of,
And sheriff's
It just
department
wants
can
more
give
transfer.
your exact
Yes.
location too?
yes, if you can't talk on the phone. The best way, is to get out the information immediately as possible on that call, because while we're en route there, because it basically knocks off the time frame. While we're en route to that call for the situation, you're giving very important information about a vehicle, which they're typing into our call, they're giving to us, so we're watching that vehicle come out as we go in.
So is there an advantage to calling 911 from a cell phone instead of the sheriff's department?
I wouldn't necessarily advantage. It's
I would say your advantage would be if you don't have the sheriff number programmed in your phone and you can remember
Which I
911.
do.
Yes.
It's going to get the
Yes.
calling faster
Usually
than
they call-
researching up the
It's a
phone
program for
number.
the sheriff's department and thinking that it'd be calling you direct instead of calling them and then them calling you.
yeah. They transfer it straight over. It's
Yeah.
not like they patch
It's
through.
quick.
It's not that long of a
It's just one. They click buttons and transfer you straight. They keep you on the phone while they connect you with our dispatch. So it's all one
And then
thing.
the question is,
The 9 number versus
so
calling
there's
911.
a lot of times where you see like like I've seen injured animals. Is there the animal control like on all the time or?
No.
There's not at this time. Our animal services is very short right now. They're trying to hire and get as much as we can. We're starting to build again. They're on a call-out basis in the evenings times, depending on the situation. Just basically, it's totality of the circumstance. Basically, if we have a stray dog or we have a loose dog, we have an aggressive dog. If we have an aggressive dog, most of the time we'll come out and then we'll determine it, what's going on with this aggressive dog, is it contained? There's a bunch of different steps it's got to go through, and then the person that makes the ultimate decision is the on-duty supervisor, the sergeant. And then they'll make that decision if they want to call out animal control, or it can wait till the morning, or have a citizen or person take it to the vet and drop it off, emergency vet 24 hours in the area. I wish I knew. I'm sorry about that. I don't know the exact emergency 24-hour vet. If anybody else would know about that, I don't know this area. I know the Stockton one, but I think there's one somewhere in Tracy. If not, maybe we could pull it up and find out and post it online for just a few people to check it out, just so we have that information of what's our 24-hour emergency vet. But pretty much covered the specific observations, suspicious activity. Give me back my